Ed, where are you, Ed? Everybody, welcome. Oops, we're not on.
Right down the side, right there. On the top of the mic, right next to the mic. Right there.
Yeah, or maybe you can come up either way, because we're going to have a bunch of different speakers come up. However, okay, everybody, we're going to get going here. I am Bernie Massey. I am the co-founder of the Portraits of Hope program, and we are very happy to be here today. So, Ed, hop on up here, Ed. First of all, today's our first full day of installation. We're going to be going at it for about another 3 days. We have about 200 spheres in the water today. By the time we're done, this is going to be the largest public art project in the United States and also the largest civic project in the United States. So, first of all, we're very happy that Mayor Garcetti is here today to welcome all of you and to be part of really what our festivities. We've had 10,000 young people and adults who have worked on this project. And right now you see the spheres behind you, but what you don't see is the process of what got the spheres in the water today. So we have some of our kids here today who have participated in the project. We have the Camino Nuevo program, which is represented here today, the Hola program, which is represented here today. We have other kids who have worked on the program. We have people from Shriners Hospital here today, people from the Braille Institute. But what makes this program really special is the type of people who help get those spheres in the water and help turn this into what this lake is going to be. Now, when we decided, we do projects, Portraits of Hope does projects all over the country. We just got back from doing public laundromats in New York City. Before that, we did fire and rescue vehicles in Colorado. And many of you will remember in 2010, we did every single lifeguard tower from the Ventura, LA County line all the way to San Pedro, all 156 lifeguard towers. So LA's our hometown, so it's fantastic to be doing something in LA again. And it's really fantastic to be here at MacArthur Park. So when we were kids, we used to come to MacArthur Park. Many of you have not visited MacArthur Park in years. We're hoping that this project is going to be one of the stepping stones of revitalizing what is really a historic and iconic symbol of Los Angeles, and hopefully something that all the people in the area will really appreciate and really say, hey, we're very happy that this project has come here. We've worked with over 3,000 school children from this immediate area. So we had 1,800 kids alone just from the Camino Nuevo programs. We had 200 to 300 from the Hola program, and we've had many parents, we've had many participants, a lot of social organizations. We had the Rampart Cadets out here. And altogether, we've had almost 10,000 people throughout Los Angeles work on this project. Now, many of them are school kids who, before they even had a chance to put a paintbrush on these spheres, had to go through a course in public policy. And basically, these kids were learning about everything that it takes to help make our communities better. Senior citizen care, education, the environment, and many others. And all these kids had to end up dividing $100 amongst 14 really difficult community concerns. And they learned about the power of a lot of people collaborating to try to make our communities better. And this is a tangible effort to show how a lot of people working together from all backgrounds, and believe me, we've worked with every demographic in Los Angeles on this project, how a lot of us rolling up our sleeves are able to really accomplish some spectacular feats. Now, if you come back here on Tuesday, you are going to see a magnificent lake. We are just getting going right now. Now, one of the things I want to just quickly mention before I turn it over to Ed is, a lot of people wonder, how the heck do you do these projects? How do you take these civic assets and get cities or government institutions to say, hey, let's make this happen? And first of all, Don Liu, who's the former deputy mayor of Los Angeles, is now officially with the board. I want to recognize him, who was introduced to us through the chair of the police commission, Steve Soboroff, who goes back to our lifeguard tower project. And really, I want you to know that there's a lot of people power that's involved in this project, many of them who we had not met before this project. We have a lot of Portraits of Hope volunteers here today. I'm not going to mention any of them by name, but I just want you to know there's a lot of people who have put 7 days a week in this project for the last 5 months to make this project happen. So I myself am going to applaud all those volunteers who've been a part of the program. I have Stephen Ritchie right here, who's been on 8 different projects with us. He travels the country with us. I want to definitely point him out. I also want to let you know that we never accept any tax dollars on any of our projects. All our projects are privately funded, which makes them extreme challenges. So when we wanted to initially do this project for LA, we said, 2016 would probably be a good idea, and Joe said, I think 2015 might be a better idea. So we had no money, and we only had that meeting about a year ago, and we basically hit the ground running, and we started putting out the word. We knew we'd have no problem having kids wanting to participate. That's never an issue. But we had to start putting out the word. So Niagara Cares was the first one that came on board, Niagara Water, to really help us out. Vista Paints. Vista Paints has donated $150,000 worth of paint. They have very flexible paints which won't crack. These spheres, as all our kids who go through our program know, in the heat they will expand. Very flexible paints, and Vista Paints has really put out some really vibrant colors. So congratulations to Vista Paints. Helen and Peter Big, who are longtime supporters of Portraits of Hope. The Arab engineers who are here today. Laird Plastics and Recycling. ShopVac. Every one of these spheres gets inflated and deflated, so thank you to ShopVac. And SoCal Shipping, which basically they're in the job of preventing oil spills from spreading in the ocean. They have put this perimeter out here all in a day and a half. They've donated those services. So there's a lot of good people in LA who've helped make this happen. Now, these spheres are going to be in the water for 1 month. In 1 month, they're going to be donated to social service institutions across the country to beautify senior homes, senior centers, women's shelters, schools, hospitals, all around the country. That's traditional Portraits of Hope. So these are all going to live on for hopefully very many long years to come. Our next big initiative, we're going to be beautifying animal shelters across the country to promote pet adoption, make them much more hospitable and inviting places for people who want to take their kids to go get a pet. We'd love to do it in LA. We're going to go to whichever state wants us first, but hopefully we're going to have an opportunity to stay here because we are based in Los Angeles and we love doing projects here. Okay, now I'm going to just take a moment. Right now, I just want to talk about two things. First of all, we have Captain Pratt here from Rampart. We have the head of Cultural Affairs, LA Cultural Affairs, who does great work right here, Danielle. And let me tell you, we have a department here that sometimes people don't recognize enough because people go to the parks, but they don't really know what it takes to operate these parks. The LA Department of Rec and Parks has been not only terrific on this project, but on top of that, they're really responsible for us enjoying our public spaces, whether it's programming, whether it's the facilities themselves. I can't thank Sophia enough, who's led a team to really make this an incredibly enjoyable and cooperative effort. Frank and Ivan, who've helped here on the installation, have been tremendous. LA has some great people working in city departments that are often unknown, and it's really important that we all recognize how they make our lives all better. Now, I'm going to introduce you to the guy who had the crazy idea to do a project on a lake that's the size of 7 football fields. My partner in Portraits of Hope going back 17 years, Ed Massey, my brother.
So good afternoon, Los Angeles.
Afternoon.
It's always tough being the younger brother going second after a speech like that. I'll try to be short. First of all, it's amazing to be standing here today among so many friends that I've just met at the park just minutes ago, and the Friends of Portraits of Hope, as Bernie mentioned, the tireless volunteers. We're run by a volunteer group of folks, men and women into their senior years down to the young middle schoolers who supported our program from day one, week after week after week, day after day after day. So we are grateful to all of you, and as Bernie mentioned, all of those processes to get here have been quite spectacular. We should be proud because this is the only lake in the world, not just in this country, that will look like this, perhaps within my lifetime. And I know with all the love and passion that all of us have put together in this, there is no other lake in my lifetime that we'll ever see like this. So an applause, first of all, for all of you. I just met a gentleman 10 minutes ago. Where's John Brown? John, okay, so listen, I just met John. John said he's been part of this park, right, John? You know the park pretty well. And he asked me, how many spheres do you think we're going to get in here, which is kind of the question of the day. And John, I spoke to many people, and John got it on the nose. John, why don't you say how many we expect to have in this lake by Tuesday? 2,500 spheres on the nose. So that was excellent, John. Okay, so anyway, I don't want everyone to get sunburned. I think right now we're going to be introducing, right?
Yeah,
the Mayor, Mayor Garcetti. Thank you, Mayor.
Good afternoon, Los Angeles. Wow. Let's give Ed and Bernie an LA round of applause for making this happen. I am so excited to be here. About a week and a half ago, some of you may have seen, actually just over a week ago, we put 96 million black spheres into a reservoir, and it was watched around the world. As I joked, it fulfilled my campaign promise of putting 25 balls in the water for every single person who lives in Los Angeles. Now that I checked that off, we actually did it because we had to make sure that sunlight doesn't get into the water that we drink, and it also helps us conserve some of the water. And it captured people's imagination because it was all about creativity. A problem we had to solve that we thought would cost $300 million wound up being just $35 million, something that we could do affordably and that could have a great outcome. But when I look behind me, I am reminded that creativity isn't just something that we apply to solve problems. Creativity is about inspiring our souls. It's about igniting our community. It's about reinvigorating our entire city. And for me as mayor, I've set out to be a very simple role player for you, a builder of our economy, a builder of our infrastructure, and a builder of trust in city government again. But I think the fourth layer is I want to build creativity in the city. I want to see creativity stretch from the Los Angeles River, where we'll celebrate our first biennial and the largest mural in the history of the world that we will paint in just a couple of years. I want to ignite that creativity that we see from our institutions when we have Lala, which will be Latin American and Latino art that is done through the Getty and through all of the institutes that are coming together for the Pacific Standard Time second convening. But art to me doesn't mean much if it's just locked away behind museum doors. It has to be where people are. And I think the Massey brothers have always understood that we can bring meaning and creativity and engagement and involvement. There are going to be kids today who will talk to their grandchildren about the time they went to MacArthur Park and they painted these beautiful spheres, and they'll show a picture of themselves and their brothers and sisters and their parents and say, that was one of the most magical moments of my life. And if you see where we are, we're in holy ground right here, because this used to be the far west side of Los Angeles. In fact, the original name was Westlake. This is the lake that we're on. It was renamed after World War II in honor of one of our great generals, General MacArthur. But this is a place that has been full of commerce. This was actually where the water dumped in the city. It was a natural lake, and all the water that would come from different parts would come here, but hardly anybody lived to the west. So this was the edge of the city. Imagine that for a moment. The Pueblo, which is not north, south, east, west, but it's actually at a 45-degree angle. That's why downtown goes from the northeast to the southwest. This was the edge of town. But today we kind of ignite this edge in a different way, recognizing that history, a place where veterans came after World War II to demand housing, and we're reminded of the homeless crisis we have today and that we have to solve. We're here at a place where the creativity in places like Westlake Theater ignited, or if you look over here at the Park Place Hotel, one of my favorite buildings anywhere in Los Angeles, that is becoming a creative center, and you see in so many movies. American Concrete Building right behind me, which is now a place where people have views of downtown and live in lofts that see right next to union headquarters of Unite, the union that is next door that represents garment workers. We see the mix from Langer's, the best sandwich in America. Please go there afterwards. And if you don't want pastrami, just go over to get some great tamales half a block down here on 7th Street. We have everything here in this incredible community. And I want to thank the community that has made this happen. Our neighborhood council, the folks who are the residents around here, and especially the kids from Ola, from Camino Nuevo, and the residents. You see, we are also trying to reignite this as holy ground. One of the first things I did as mayor was to apply to the Obama administration to designate this area as a promise zone, modeled on what we saw in the Harlem Children's Zone, that we wouldn't just help with schools, we wouldn't just help with transportation, we wouldn't just help with bringing culture, we wouldn't just help with bringing jobs and housing, we would bring them all together to see if we could break the back of poverty, because poverty isn't just a state of material want, it is also a state of cultural need.
And today, we say this is not a poor community. This is the richest community in America when you see what is around us here today. So thank you to Massey Brothers. Thank you to Rec and Parks and Cultural Affairs. Thanks Joan and Steve and everybody who connected us with this crazy idea. And LA is the place where crazy ideas come true. They say if you want to make it, go to New York. But if you want to make something, come to LA. Today we show that for all of us. So let's go do it. And yo quiero decir unas palabras también en español porque la comunidad aquí, la comunidad hispana, gracias a todos los miembros de la comunidad aquí en MacArthur Park, en Westlake, por su visión, por su trabajo, a realizar este día y esta visión de arte y cultura en este lago histórico. Este es un parte de la ciudad. En el pasado fue la frontera del oeste de la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Pero ahora es una frontera diferente, una frontera de cultura, una mezcla de todas las naciones que viven aquí, las lenguas que están aquí. Y este proyecto es una reflexión de nuestra esperanza por este vecindario, pero también por nuestra ciudad. Gracias a todos los miembros, especialmente los artistas, los hermanos de Massey y todo su equipo. Por este es una visión que nosotros queremos a continuar aquí en el Río de Los Ángeles, en los museos, en las calles, en ciclavía, en todas las celebraciones de cultura, de arte y de creatividad aquí en el capital de creatividad en el mundo. Muchísimas gracias, and let's go ahead and get some balls rolling.
Okay, everyone, I'd like to introduce you now to the man who helped get this whole process going, Commissioner Steven Sobroff, who is truly a great civic citizen.
Thanks, guys. My speech is under 30 seconds. What you've got here is so cool. You've got understands technology. He loves Los Angeles. And then you look at the Massey brothers, and they're the Cristo of tomorrow. Cristo. They do these projects. Not only are they wonderful art projects, but the social ramifications of what they're doing is just as beautiful as what they're doing. The kids that make these, where they wind up, this is art for the world. It's perfect LA. And anything you guys want to do, you got to give Garcetti, put him on your Fave 5. Give him the first chance.
Okay, now we have Sophia Pina Cortez of Rec and Parks. Sophia.
On behalf of the City of Los Angeles Department of Recreation and Parks, our General Manager, Mike Shull, it's really an honor and a privilege for us to be able to host this fantastic temporary art project here at MacArthur Park. About a year ago, I called into a meeting and said, come on, Sophia, I didn't know what it was about, but as soon as I got there and I met the Massey brothers and I knew that Steve and Jong-woo were involved, I knew that this was going to be an amazing project. And this morning when I woke up, I thought to myself, all of these people that are getting ready to go to MacArthur Park to see the initial installation of this project that we're going to have, this is really, really a once-in-a-lifetime experience for us and for all the volunteers, all the children, all the community that's come out today. We just want to thank you for being here with us and supporting us. We have a lot of wonderful things that happen at our recreation centers. We have the Left Pavilion here, we have OLA, we have classes, we have all kinds of great activities, and this is just a way to invite everyone to come back to MacArthur Park because really it is a beautiful place. And I just want to say that the most amazing part of this whole experience was the positive energy that the Massey brothers had, and it was so easy to embrace because usually in bureaucracy there's all the reasons why we cannot do things. This one was like no reason why we can't, and so that's why I'm so happy to be here today with all of you to celebrate. I also just want to do a shout out to Karen Massey, who is the mother of Ed and she's here with us today. Her beautiful inspiration and just all the things that the guys told us about, because we had an Bertha's just an amazing woman, and that's why we got these two wonderful guys that are out here today. And I also just want to also give a shout out to all the Recreation and Park staff. To Frank Avila, to Andy, to Ivan, to George, to Anita and Veronica, and all the unsung heroes that are here with us today that really, Bertha Calderon, that really worked really hard to put this all together and make it happen. So with that, I just want to say, I love LA, I love the Department of Recreation and Parks, I love MacArthur Park, and I love Portraits of Hope, and thank you all.